So we're here at the edX Conference 2024 in Cape Town, South Africa, in Stellenbosch more specifically. And it's been a couple of great, exciting days. So Felipe, what's your thoughts so far?
My impression so far is that this has been probably one of the most interesting conferences. Every year, the different talks try to highlight the projects that we've accomplished as a community in the last year. And what I've seen so far are more daring projects that are taking on challenges that we've had for many, many years. And this year, we've seen solutions and we've seen a faster pace of progress.
Right, excellent. I would add to that it is maybe by coincidence, but it's very recently that the Redwood release has been cut and made it into the open. And this particular release has been so packed with new features, like long-awaited capabilities that we really wanted to have inside the platform. So it feels like a moment of
Triumph in the community.
yeah, somewhat of a triumph and also like a pivotal moment in the sense that we now have the ability to go much further and to really take things to the next level, probably.
Yeah, I think the product narrative for Redwood really shows, and the fact that we are doing this every 6 months and with lots of collaboration from the community, I think it's one of the strongest indications of the current community status.
Right. So one of the things that has stricken me as super interesting is because of the fact that we're hosting the conference for the first time in the Africa continent. This talks a lot about the really global dimension of the initiative and the almost unsurmountable size of the challenges that we have in terms of access and impact of the education initiatives in continents like Africa, which is from the population standpoint growing significantly, is aiming to be or is heading to be almost half of the population of the world in the next few years. And it's a place where probably you will see that actual leapfrogging with technology it's possible, and it's going to enable like significant transformations for millions and millions of people. So that is super interesting to be part of, and we can only like praise the incredible effort that people is doing already here in the grounds for many different initiatives, and hope that edX can be a part of that and can significantly empower them and leverage them to be doing more.
Absolutely. I felt in many of the presentations, but also at panels, I was seeing significant presence from the Middle East and from Latin America. And I love that we, as, for example, Latin America, we are taking part in the conversation and not just being at the table, but taking an active role in driving our challenges forward and really sharing the knowledge that we have gathered when trying to solve the challenge of education in our respective places, being Latin America, Africa, Middle East, everywhere, and not just sort of waiting to hear the solutions that someone else comes up with.
Right, good. In terms of product, the articulation of a product narrative, like over the years, we've been growing in this specific direction. We as a community, I mean, the edX project has been growing in this direction of articulating a compelling narrative for its product. Have you seen like recent changes in that direction or something to comment on that?
One of the things that we've been trying to, where we have been trying to move the needle and create projects and come up with solutions has been around the extensibility space. And I think this is something that for a long time we were the only ones having this conversation, but now it feels like we are having echo in more partners of the community, and even at the very core of the community, we're understanding how important extensibility is. So the fact that this year, the theme for the architecture this year that starts now until the next conference, the fact that the theme is extensibility and that we are applying this at the front end, back end, analytics, everywhere around the technology ecosystem, that really gives me hope for the amount of things we can accomplish in the future for customers that want to innovate or extend or really solve their very peculiar use cases. Organizations out there that we previously had to say, no, this is impossible, or this will not allow you to migrate in the future. Now we have a lot less barriers to really be able to innovate in that space.
That's perfect.
I have a question for you now.
Yep.
I've been focusing a lot on the topics around the tech space, but how have you seen the business development space?
So one of the things we've done this year that's interesting is that we came together with multiple operators and providers from all corners of the world, and we made like a joint exercise of analyzing the data that's available to us to understand what the footprint of the platform has been in the past 10 years in terms of like geographic adoption of the platform in different locations, and how big initiatives are and how many there are, and trying to infer from what is possible from the data the kind of impact that the platform is having. This has been really informative, and it's giving us a lot of food for thought on how to take the platform further and how to take this project to more places, and hopefully to enable like larger initiatives to make an impact with it. How about in terms of new things? Have you seen any innovations, any particularly mind-blowing this time around?
I was very excited by the presentation around the Learning Core project. That one, we've been trying to, we call it tame the beast of what that, the whole project, the whole edX platform project has thousands of lines of code, and we've been trying to refactor around that for years. So I'm excited to see what the Learning Core project will bring to the table, because it takes some of the most core models of the learning experience, and it puts them, extracts them in a library in a way that it's easy for us as plugin developers to extend. So this is surfacing something that previously was very hidden somewhere in the module store, and it was very difficult to access, and now it's going to be front and center of the whole extensibility theme. So I'm looking forward to the kinds of projects that we'll be able to do with that.
Right, excellent. So this kind of thing probably will take us closer to that vision we've had, or the community has come up with a few months and years ago, which is having like a linear and more and very robust core product that it's then complemented with extended product offerings, right? So that maybe at some point the platform will have different flavors or different products that will cater to very specific needs of different kinds of initiatives.
Absolutely, yeah. So what I expect that we will have in the future is some tools that already allow some of the core aspects of anything you do in the education space will still require that you create some content, that you author it, that you maintain it and support it. And some core services that let you do that, and then sort of get out of the way in the way that you mix and match that content, in the way that you present it, or that you assess gradings on top of it. This sort of thing that would allow us to really innovate on top of the existing primitives, instead of having to develop them again and again for every project that we come up that has a different way of seeing things, that goes beyond this is the course and this is how you see through that content.
So how about AI? Like, this is the big topic in every conversation. Everybody wants to explore and understand how AI can leverage its capabilities to make improvements in the platform, like across the board maybe, or maybe in some specific part of the processes. How do you feel that is coming around?
So I think coming up with good use cases for AI has been a challenge. The fact that it's so open and that it can process basically anything you throw at it. What about you? How is AI shaping the instructor and business spaces?
Right, so after an exploration of everything that AI could bring in different places of the whole experience, I'm convinced personally that there's like two main places where it has a lot of potential to deliver the first significant pieces of value. One is on the authoring experience, but not in the sense of like being very fast to build the same kind of quality content that we were used to.
No,
but maybe even if you're slower, but building a much better, significantly better content
going magnitudes of order, order of magnitudes.
Going through all the nuance of how people learn and what the different options are, what the different possibilities, and really building experiences that are outstanding for them. I think that's one big potential. And the other one is perhaps on the social connection, like leveraging like a whole new level of social connection, or Human to
human
human
to human
connection.
connection.
Yeah, exactly,
Absolutely.
something like